Our journey from Thessaloniki to Padua began at our school, the first gymnasium of Pylaia, located in the eastern part of our city. Last May, we were invited to participate in the 4th International Student Conference of ELEMASYN in Padua, Italy, focusing on World Cultural Heritage Monuments. A team of 40 students from our school enthusiastically accepted the invitation and immediately began brainstorming on a topic to explore.
While researching Padua's landmarks, we read about the church in the city center, the Basilica of St. Anthony. The term basilica was familiar to us. We had learned in our Byzantine history lessons and during our explorations of Thessaloniki's monuments that basilicas were churches from the Byzantine era. Moreover, we had all visited the Basilica of St. Demetrios, the patron saint of our city.
We decided to research and study basilicas, churches of royal architectural style in Thessaloniki, and two cities in Italy's Veneto region, Venice and Padua. Some of us even considered creating our own mosaics inspired by those in the churches we would discover. Throughout our journey, we were guided by three of our teachers, Mr. Panagiotis Dombros, our principal, Mrs. Evangelia Kikazopoulou, a Greek language and religion teacher, and Mrs. Maria Parasidou, an art teacher.
Our journey began at our school, where we studied the characteristics of basilicas. We learned that they were initially large, elongated Roman public buildings divided into aisles by rows of columns. From the early Christian period, they were used as places of worship in both the East and the West. The first basilicas in Greece were built in the 4th century AD when Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire. Over time, basilicas acquired Byzantine architectural elements such as domes. Many similar basilicas can also be found in Italy and throughout the West.
Our journey continued with visits to three of the most important basilicas in Thessaloniki, St. Demetrios, Panagia Hieropyritos, and Hagia Sophia. We toured these churches, observed their architectural components, the narthex, the main nave, the sanctuary and the galleries, admired their decoration, photographed them, and used the images in our presentation, video and poster for the conference.
In St. Demetrios, we admired the interior decoration, including wall mosaic and marble capitals adorned with foliage, ram heads, and eagle motifs. The large marble fountain in the churchyard and the crypt where St. Demetrios was buried also impressed us.
At Panagia Hieropyritos, we were struck by the natural light flooding in through numerous windows. We marveled at the mosaics on the arches of the columns depicting crosses, gospels, vases, birds, flowers, wreaths, and geometric patterns, vibrant and luminous compositions.
In Hagia Sophia, the large dome caught our attention as it was absent in the previous churches. The dome features a mosaic depicting the Ascension of Christ. We admired the golden mosaic representations in the sanctuary arch and the natural lighting of the church.
During our journey, we participated in an educational program at the Historical Archive of Macedonia titled The Church of Thessaloniki as Symbols of Art and Worship. Led by Mr. Afonikiadou, a theologian and archaeologist, we virtually toured Thessaloniki's churches through early 20th century postcards. We observed the damages the church suffered over the centuries and the restoration efforts. We also noted that during the Ottoman period, these churches were converted into mosques.
We visited the Historical Archive of Macedonia, collaborating with Mrs. Hadzi Isaac, an archivist, historian, and archaeologist. With her help, we selected original photographic material for our conference presentation.
We also visited the Byzantine Museum of Thessaloniki, where we participated in the educational program Cards at the Museum. We discovered that the museum's first hall is dedicated to early Christian basilicas. There, we studied mosaics, pulpits, parapets, and capitals from the city's basilicas.
Having learned about basilicas and studied those in Thessaloniki, we turned to reliable online sources to research basilicas in Padua and Venice. We discovered several, including the Basilica of St. Anthony and the Monastery of St. Justina in Padua, as well as the Basilica of St. Mark and the Basilica of St. John and Paul in Venice. We realized how widespread this architectural style was in the West. We explored the history, construction, architecture, and decoration of these churches, creating our own presentations about them.
Comparing Eastern and Western basilicas, we found differences in architecture, decoration, and usage as places of worship by Orthodox and Catholic communities. Western basilicas often feature Gothic architectural elements, pointed arches, spire-like bell towers, and numerous small domes. Inside, they house many statues of saints instead of icons, and their sanctuaries are visible, unlike in Eastern churches.
As our basilica journey continued, some of us decided to create our own mosaics. We first learned about Byzantine art through presentations, discussions, worksheets, and visits. We learned to recognize its elements within churches and understood its significance for Greek culture. We also became familiar with the techniques of creating portable icons and mosaics.
We explored why mosaics were used as an art form. We discovered that they utilized an abundant material, stone, to decorate building surfaces and outdoor spaces. The durability of mosaic tesserae ensures the preservation of these artworks over time.
We then crafted our own mosaics. First, we created tesserae from tiles using various tools. Breaking the tiles with a hammer to make tesserae was particularly enjoyable. We sketched designs on wooden bases inspired by nature or geometric patterns, often influenced by the mosaics in Thessaloniki's Byzantine churches. We selected suitable tesserae for our designs, adhered them in place, and applied grout to fill the gaps. Working harmoniously, we achieved wonderful results. Our creations will decorate our school spaces.
Two students with a talent for painting decided to depict two iconic churches, St. Demetrios in Thessaloniki and St. Anthony in Padua. They documented every stage of their painting process through photographs.
Finally, we designed our conference poster, selecting the images and text for inclusion.
Our journey, however, is not yet complete. It will culminate when we step inside St. Mark's Basilica in Venice and St. Anthony's Basilica in Padua. There, we will witness everything we have discovered, studied, and envisioned.